Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So if you're a fan of high-octane action thrillers, then you have probably seen Nobody and its sequel Nobody 2. And today, I am diving into why the original Nobody from 2021 absolutely crushes its follow-up in every way, from storytelling to character depth, and yes, even at the box office. So stick around as I break it down. So first off, let's set the stage. Actually, Nobody of 2021 was directed by Ilya Naishuller, and it follows Hutch Mansell, a seemingly ordinary family man who unleashes his hidden assassin skills after a home invasion. It's a gritty, revenge-fueled ride that surprised everyone with its blend of John Wick-style action and dark humor. Then fast forwards to Nobody 2, which hit theaters in 2025, picking up with Hutch facing bigger threats, new villains, and even more explosive set pieces. But while the sequel amps up the spectacle, it loses the magic that made the first film a standout. So here comes an important question: why is the original better? Actually, the core strength of Nobody lies in its fresh and subversive take on the action genre. It starts with a relatable everyman premise, like Hutch as a bored suburban dad, before flipping the script to reveal his deadly past. And this slow burn buildup creates genuine tension and investment in the character. And we feel his frustration and eventual release, making every punch of his land harder emotionally. But in contrast, Nobody 2 jumps straight into over-the-top action without earning it. And the plot feels like a rehash, more bad guys, higher stakes, but no real innovation. It relies on sequel tropes, like escalating threats and cameos, which dilute the originality. And where the first film was a clever underdog story, the sequel plays it safe, borrowing too heavily from franchises like John Wick without adding anything new. So that's why Nobody feels like a breath of fresh air, while Nobody 2 just recycles the formula. Then Bob Odenkirk's performance in Nobody is a masterclass in transformation. He nails the shift from mild-mannered dad to ruthless killer, blending vulnerability with menace. And supporting characters, like his family and the Russian mobsters, add different layers. Just think about Christopher Lloyd as the badass retiree dad, stealing scenes with his shotgun antics. And it's these personal stakes that make the violence more meaningful. On the other side, Nobody 2 expands the cast with new faces, but it spreads things too thin. And Hutch's arc feels repetitive, like he is already unleashed, so there's less room for growth. The new villains lack the charisma of the original's antagonists, coming off as generic thugs. And even Odenkirk seems on autopilot, without the raw intensity that made his first outing iconic. Actually, the sequel prioritizes ensemble chaos over deep character work, leaving us less connected to the story. Then action in Nobody is brutal, inventive, and perfectly paced. Scenes like the bus fight or the home invasion finale use everyday environments for maximum impact, like tool-shed weapons and close-quarters combat that feels real and visceral. And the film's runtime is tight at under 2 hours, building to a satisfying climax without filler. But Nobody 2 goes bigger with car chases, explosions, and CGI-heavy brawls, but it sacrifices realism for spectacle. And the pacing drags in the middle with unnecessary subplots, and the fights feel choreographed to excess, losing the gritty edge. It's like the difference between a precision strike and a fireworks show. Impressive, but forgettable. Well, the original keeps you on the edge of your seat, but the sequel just wears you out. Then let's talk about numbers, because box office performance often reflects a film's staying power. So the original Nobody of 2021 made on a modest budget of $16 million, and it pulled in a worldwide total of $58 million. With $27.6 million from domestic markets and $29.9 million internationally. It opened to $6.8 million domestically and built momentum through word of mouth, which is especially impressive during the pandemic era. But now Nobody 2 of 2025 have a higher budget of $25 million, but it has earned about $38.7 million worldwide as of September 11th of 2025. Including $21.6 million in the US and Canada and $17.2 million from other territories. It opened to $9.3 million domestically, but hasn't matched the original's global haul, trailing by roughly $18.8 million overall. And factors like a crowded 2025 release slate and mixed reviews might explain the dip, but it underscores how the first film's underdog charm translated to stronger earnings relative to expectations. While the sequel has recovered its budget, it hasn't captured the same cultural buzz or financial dominance. Then at its heart, Nobody explores toxic masculinity, midlife crisis, and the allure of violence in a mundane world. It's a commentary wrapped in entertainment, resonating with audiences who felt seen in Hutch's quiet rage. And the film sparked discussions and memes, becoming a cult hit on streaming. And while Nobody too touches on similar themes, but waters them down for broader appeal, adding forced humor and redemption arcs that feel tacked on. It lacks the cultural punch, blending into the sea of action sequels without leaving a mark. And that's why the original stands taller. It's not just a movie, it's a statement. So in the end, Nobody triumphs over Nobody 2 because it delivers a tight, original story with heart-pounding action, real emotional depth, and superior box office performance that proves its lasting appeal. So if you haven't revisited the original, do it now because it's still the king. And if you loved this video, then hit that like button and subscribe for more videos.